athletic, they're creative. So kind of walk me through your game plan kind of going into this game, or if you don't even have a game plan and you're just going out there and trying to have fun and play as hard as you can.
Well, this whole tournament's Ironman Lacrosse. It's about the team that executes the most, so we're just looking to go out there and execute. We know they have some really physical players, some really good players, so we're just going to have to play as a team, play as one, and hopefully get a couple bounces here and there.
There's some pretty familiar faces in terms of guys that play in the States and play college ball. You're playing at Marquette. Talk about some of the teammates that you guys have been able to get on this team and that have helped you kind of get to this position.
Well, we have a couple key players that really contributed to our success. I would say our D-mid unit, especially Thomas O'Connell.
Yes, D-middies.
Oh, yeah. Thomas O'Connell came up huge. And we've got Kevin McNally, a Lizards guy, who's also been a really big contributor for our team. Also, Scott Beta from the Boston Cannons.
Yeah, Scott Beta.
Yeah, kind of the captain of our offense.
Okay, yeah. I mean, and now that you guys have been here for, over a week, what is your lasting memories so far? I mean, I've kind of been asking a lot of people what their memories have been, even though the week isn't over. I'm sure you guys are going to create some more memories in the next few days, but has anything stood out to you guys so far?
Watching New Zealand do the haka, that was a great experience.
Oh, yeah.
Being in front of them, that's something you see on Instagram and YouTube all the time, and it's completely different when you're standing in front of them. And then the food, I didn't really know what to expect, maybe Mediterranean food, but the food has definitely been something else, like some good, some like, oh, I don't know what that is, but it's been beautiful. The views have been beautiful. The teams have been great to see. Jamaica and Uganda doing the One Love thing.
We're going to show that later in the show. I mean, that was, for me, chills all over my body. I still get chills when I think about it and watch it. So, hey, I don't want to take any more of your guys' time. You guys are starting to warm up here. I really appreciate you guys coming over here before your game, and good luck.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good luck, fellas. All right, coming up next, Madeline Lewis of Signature Lacrosse. These lacrosse balls that you see out here, the orange ones, they're specially engraved by Signature Lacrosse. We're going to learn more about these balls and what Signature Lacrosse is doing in this space. So stick right with us. We'll be right back. Hello. And sorry about that, audio issues during that Madeline Lewis Signature Lacrosse interview. We'll get that back to you with some audio because it's really, really awesome what she has to offer and what their company is doing. So we'll make sure to get that fixed. However, right now we did get an interview last night with Goran Murray after the Jamaica game. Goran Murray, a defender for Team Jamaica. He had a lot to say about this program. We talked about the One Love moment he had with Uganda. It's a really special interview. Please enjoy. All right, so I'm joined by Goran Murray. Goran, really appreciate you coming on the show. For me, I've been following your career. I've absolutely loved you as a player. You're playing for Team Jamaica, defenseman. I want to start with my favorite moment. So it might have been topped already because I got a Uganda ceremony.
Oh, I gotta hook you up then.
Yeah, garb from the vendor village earlier today, but it happened between you and Uganda, and it was the One Love.
When you guys took a picture.
Tingles again, man. Yeah. I got goosebumps every time I think about it and I see it. What was that moment like for you, like being a part of it?
That was an awesome experience, to be honest. We know they're predominantly predominantly black team, just like us.
Right.
And it's just nice to see that and know that they're here to represent their heritage the same way we are. And it was just awesome how they shared so much love towards us, and like our guys shared the same love back towards them. And they were chanting reggae as they were coming onto our field, which was awesome.
Was it spur of the moment, or did it just happen? Right?
It was totally spur of the moment. We had just finished up our game with Russia, and they had a game on that field and they were coming across the field, they're blasting reggae music. They're like, Jamaica, Jamaica.
Yeah.
And then we started chanting, Uganda, Uganda.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was an awesome experience.
It's amazing, the kind of stories that come out of this. We love watching USA, right? We love watching Canada, the Iroquois, but there's so many other teams out there. Who have you connected with? We've talked about Uganda, but are there any other teams that you guys have connected with or kind of shared a similar moment with?
I wouldn't say exactly a similar moment. After every game, we've taken a photo with all the teams that we've played.
Right.
But another team that's kind of similar to us is Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
We've seen them outside in the town of Netanya, which has been awesome. We've gotten to know those guys. They're good guys, and they're here to compete just like we are. So it's been a pretty awesome experience meeting all these teams that are here to represent their heritage and knowing that, they're here to play a high-level competition. Like, these games they're not exactly blowouts each game. Like, these guys came to play. Everyone knows the game of lacrosse, and I love how the game has been growing.
It's awesome. And let's talk about that a little bit more, like especially the growth on the Jamaican side. How did you get involved, and talk about your teammates and kind of like how this group has kind of come together over the last year or so.
Yeah. So for me, I got involved when I first picked up a stick in the 6th grade. I played for 1 year because it was our lacrosse coach at the time. He told me, I have great
and you're
speed.
From Philly.
From Philly.
Yeah.
Played at the Haverford School.
Yep.
Coaches at the Haverford School, Mark Patrone, John Nostrom, and Travis Loving, they kind of geared me towards playing the game. And I just fell in love with it, especially the connections and relationships I created with the guys on my team.
Oh, yeah.
Till this day, I still hang out with the guys that I played with at the Haverford School.
Right.
I actually came down here to watch my guy Connor Kelly. He's out there on Team Ireland. So
that's awesome.
Yep. And then for some of the guys on our team, they've been playing for a good amount of time. They're a little bit younger than me, not too young. They're around 19, 20, 21, and they're guys that are in school right now. And I love what they're doing. They put themselves on the map, and just being able to knowing that they're Jamaican and knowing that I always growing up I knew of Hakeem being Jamaican and playing lacrosse.
Yeah,
but
Hakeem
Lecky,
Syracuse,
Hakeem Lecky, Syracuse guy, and to know that we had so many guys, like our tryout earlier in November, October, we had 60, 80 guys show up, which was wild.
Yeah, that's
you
crazy.
Don't thinking that there's that many Jamaicans.
Delroy's from Nantucket, like all these guys coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the gear. We got some of the gear up here. We got the Cascade S with the Jamaican decals. These Adidas gloves. Adidas
hooked us up.
Oh man, you got the Adidas shirt. You got the Sambas down here. I'm wearing my Sambas. I mean, walk us through kind of some of the design here and what went into some of this.
So for our gloves, the flag is it's a yellow X. So they incorporated the yellow across the middle of the glove, kind of like the X on the flag.
Right.
And then the Adidas, they have in yellow, and it's a predominantly green glove. And then other than that, you got your trims in black. So honestly,
you got the flag right here on the collar, then your number on the other side.
And then you have out of many people, or out of many, you got one people, because that's like a saying in Jamaica. So we rolled with it on the gloves, which is pretty awesome.
That's awesome. What does that mean to you? Out of many, we were one people.
Out of many is one people. It's kind of like there's many different cultures that come to Jamaica, but as you come to Jamaica and you essentially you're Jamaican and you've lived there, and it's just like if you heard Bob Marley say, "One love, carefree." We're all family. It's kind of that.
Let's get
saying.
together.
Yeah, let's get together. Exactly.
Yeah, be all right. Yeah. Hey, well, G, appreciate the time. Good luck the rest of the tournament, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Definitely, man.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes, here the really cool thing about having this live setup here on Field 1 is that we could just grab people off the street right here and get some interviews. And a really special guest with Ryan Danahy. Ryan, thanks for joining me. How do you define yourself? I mean, you're here with Turkey and you're coaching with Turkey, but how would you define yourself in the lacrosse space?
I am currently taking up 3 roles right now.
Yeah, you're a busy man.
I am. I'm the head coach for the Turkish national team.
Yep.
I am the offensive coordinator for the New York Lizards, and I am currently an assistant coach at the University of Pennsylvania.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you do some radio work, and you do your own shows. Are you still doing that?
No,
the podcast and stuff.
It's been put on ice since I've taken the Penn role.
Okay.
So Andy and I have put in your face.
Kind of awkward to talk about your own team, right?
Yeah,
in those
and
situations.
then just being behind the scenes is a little tougher to talk about things that
you
normally would on air.
Right. I've been there. I've been there before.
Yes, I'm sure you have. Yes. So I appreciate that you appreciate it.
Yeah. Ryan, let's talk about Team Turkey. I know you have a certain situation where you're down some guys. Tell us about kind of Team Turkey, the program, and where you guys are at this tournament.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal so far. Really, actually, where we're staying is like really fit us really well. We came to this event with 16 guys. Essentially, 6 guys didn't get on their flights. One way or another, they couldn't afford it. Last minute changes, last minute passport issues, last minute a lot of different things. Coming from Turkey to Israel, you would think is a pretty easy step just because it's cheaper in flights. But the reality is we're still a growing country in the world of lacrosse, and we're still trying to put the pieces together. So we're doing the best we can in that area. But we came here with 16 strong individuals. We're fighting it every week. We got 1 goalie. We've got 5 poles. We've got a bunch of runners. We're down a couple more now that the week grind gets into you.
Oh my gosh!
This is it's Darwinism out here. It's survival of the fittest, and our guys are doing a great job. We just took a tough loss to a good Mexico team, and who was actually staying in the dorm next to us.
That's cool. So you've been able to spend some time with them.
Yeah, with them, and so we got to play them too, which was nice. But hopeful against the next team that we play tomorrow morning.
You mentioned survival of the fittest. I mean, we're in the Middle East. It's in July. It's hot.
Yes.
It's humid.
Yes.
You really find out from your players like who can kind of deal with these situations and roll
100%.
with the punches. How has that been as a coach? Because you've had to acclimate as
Yes,
well, and
yes.
then it's not just the players, it's the coaches too that have.
No doubt. So essentially, I equate it to spending a decade in Hanover, New Hampshire, and the complete opposing temperatures. -50 is about equivalent to 150 in the Middle East.
Yeah.
But no, these conditions do really test you.
Mm-hmm.
The guys are doing a great job. I mean, look, as you have a small crew, you're able to kind of corral a small group better. We have a mandatory have a water in your hands at all times on our team. We have stretch times.
Is that your rule?
That's my rule, yes.
I love it.
I
got my water bottle somewhere.
Yeah. Everyone, if you're listening to this, keep a water bottle in
or
your
if you're in
hands
the
all
beer
time.
garden, keep drinking some beer too.
Yes,
drink one
with
for
the water.
me.
With the water.
Yeah, beer, water.
But our guys are doing a great job on it, and they're stretching. They're constantly take care of their bodies. We're doing a good job of having film sessions instead of walkthroughs outside in the heat. Our guys are learning, and for us as a team, the #1 goal is we want to be the fastest improving team in the world.
Yeah.
I learned this when I was at Penn, or I'm at Penn. We walked through the Penn Wrestling, and we saw on the board they wanted to be the fastest improving team in the country. And I was like, that's like gold. And so I took that to Turkey, and I was like, look, we're in the World Games. We want to be the fastest improving team in the world over the next 14 days. And our guys have done that by quarter, and we've measured ourselves essentially possession by possession. It's been awesome.
I love that. I mean, to see these different teams, and there's the Iroquois, there's Canada, there's USA. Everyone wants to see those teams play, but there's other teams out there.
There is. We're here.
Yeah.
We're playing lacrosse.
Have you? And I know you're a student of the game, and you're always learning yourself in the lacrosse world as a coach. Yes. Have you learned? Has there been one of those aha coaching moments out here for you?
Yes. The language barrier makes a lot of aha moments. Yeah. You always you have a tendency to at Penn or anywhere else, you have a tendency to just speak to somebody who's played the game a lot
and just expect them to know
expect them to all the backstory. So
right.
you have a tendency to simplify things, and I've caught myself, saying a few things that I'm like, that makes more sense. That even in a higher level game might break it down easier in an intense moment where you're just like, here's the scenario, this is what we need to do, and the guys pick it up better. And I feel like even for myself, as a student of the game that I can use that same principles even at the highest levels, because it'll absorb quicker and they'll get to their responsibilities quicker.
All right, I'll leave you with this. We're about to show a video from Team Jamaica and Team Uganda.
Awesome.
And when they got together after Team Uganda's first pool play
That's
win,
amazing.
they got together and they started singing "One Love" by Bob
No
Marley.
way.
And
No way.
I keep getting chills every time I say it and
Awesome.
see it. But I got to speak to Goran Murray. We just showed that interview too, and
that was great.
it just came out of nowhere.
That's amazing.
Have you had a moment like that or seen something where I know the games aren't over yet, but that you're going to leave this Netanya and these championships?
We haven't had a moment inter-team, although we've been giving gifts and exchanging gifts, taking pictures. But really, for me, the most special moment was seeing our guys sing the national anthem. I think that's a big part of a lot of different teams.
Yeah.
Our guys sing the national anthem.
The
and they
haka,
belt
the
it out.
tradition.
Oh,
yeah.
And they belt it out, and they know the words. And, like, you look at a middle school.
Do you know them yet?
I do not. I am piecing
Come
together
on,
language.
come on.
Like Icky, you got the two. You're Icky. So
Yeah.
I'm putting it all together. But to me, it was just seeing how passionate these guys are about representing their country in such a short amount of time, and how much they're willing to work in this World Games.
That's awesome. I love it, Ryan. You have a job to do right now. We are at 20 minutes until you're on ESPN.
I'm a little nervous.
I know you were nervous. I had to pull him off the field as he was trying to go talk to somebody, get some notes before the game. So
I got to hustle.
Yeah. Have a great call, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, you're the man.
Of course.
You're the man.
Yeah, thank you. Let's take a look at that One Love video. Jamaica, Uganda, singing One Love after Uganda's win. It was really special to me, something that I'll always remember. Here's a look. Absolute chills as I listen to that and hear that again. I hope that everyone can, if you didn't hear it and you're in the beer garden, it was too loud or something, that you can go find that video. Hey, Jan, Mr. Flaska, get over here. Get over here. I have another guest. Jan Flaska was one of my teachers at Deerfield Academy. He's out here coaching, and let's just get him in here. This is so cool that we're doing this. Jan, really appreciate it.
Josh, it's so great to see you.
Where are you coming from right now?
We were watching the Austria-Norway game, and we
Okay.
figured we'd come over here and check this out. We've got a guy not too much unlike you. He came to us for 1 year, though, not 2 years, at Deerfield Academy. Number 32, Jose Boy. He plays with Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And then we played 4 years against Tohoka the past 4 Marches. So down in Florida.
At IMG,
at
Deerfield
IMG.
Academy, always going down to Florida for that spring event. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Kiss Me, Florida. A lot of Waffle House and a lot of lacrosse.
Yeah, it's a taste of the South for guys that are from New England.
Yeah.
So it's excellent.
Exactly.
It's excellent.
Let's talk about your team and how the games have gone so far.
It's been great. So Slovakia, we've been on the map 15 years, I'd say, internationally. We've been in the World Championships since we showed up in London. We didn't play in London, Ontario, and then we played for the first time in Manchester. We started the Euro competitions in Lahti, Finland. That was 12 years ago, and it's been great. It's been a great experience. I was playing for him for a while. I graduated to coach.
For a while? Do you want to disclose how long? Because look how young and fit Jan is. I mean, you haven't aged a bit since I've been in school at Deerfield. I swear.
Yeah, thanks. No, that's excellent. So I've been with him about 15 years. So as I mentioned, it was my time to give up the stick and to pick up the whistle.
But that's special
what
that
happened out there.
you know, to be able to say that you've been a part of an international program for 15 years.
No, the great thing about it for guys like me, not just me, but guys that are involved in coaching and playing the sport outside of the nation in which they live. So I live in the U.S., I live in Massachusetts, but you reconnect with your roots. My father's Czech, my mother's Slovak, and it's been a reconnection with language, with culture. My kids are speaking the language. They've got friends over there. And so when I visit Slovakia, we go there every summer. We're involved in lacrosse, the lacrosse thing over there. I've got buddies that are my age. You know, it's no longer like my mother's friends. So it's been excellent. It's been really nice. And you learn to love the food, too. There's some great, like, mac and cheese equivalent over there. Brinzava halushki. It's like a little more bitter, goat cheese and bacon, but it's just like mac and cheese in the U.S.
You said that pretty fluently. Are you fluent in Slovakian?
Po slovenský jste, Josh.
Wow, I didn't know that. One thing that I've been doing is trying to get videos of everyone saying thank you, because the one word that I've really grabbed onto, being here in Netanya in Israel, is toda. Toda means thank you in Israeli. How do you say toda, or how do you say thank you in Slovakian?
So I would say kind of the formal way is zmevdačni. So we are grateful. Dakujeme is sort of a more colloquial way to say it. And even just so you know, the Czech and the Slovak, the Polish, the Slovenian, Croatian, those languages are pretty similar. So you could get by speaking with other people. Yeah. The letters are sometimes a little different.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's a beautiful language. You say it so beautifully.
Thanks.
Let's move on to kind of what you've experienced here. I know you went to Jerusalem. Yeah. I was going to try to get on that trip with you guys. I was unfortunately not able to go. How did that trip go? I know that definitely meant a lot to you personally.
It's great. So it's a place that everybody has heard about forever, right? It's sort of in your blood, right? Mm-hmm. You know it. You know some of the stories. In the U.S., obviously, we're linked into the whole Judeo-Christian endeavor.
Yeah.
And Islamic, if I can, by extension. So Jerusalem is a special place in that way, is that you've heard about it, you know it's there, and you finally get a chance to see it. And it's obviously, it's to a great degree, it's a tourist site.
Right.
But beyond that, kind of spiritually, its roots are in those faiths and in this identity. The Hebrew, Israeli, Jewish, Islamic, right? It's this location of faith for maybe 5/7 of the world's population, or 4/7 of the world's population. So to be here, close to it, it's pretty special, right? As you know, I was going to be in Manchester, and I'm trying to think what they have there. They have good soccer. Their coast is the Atlantic, not the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
The water's a little colder, so it worked out okay.
I think we won.
So
sure.
Can I interview you for a second?
Of course.
All right.
Sure.
I want to know about Denver. So I'm from Golden, Colorado.
Yeah.
Denver it's close to my heart a little bit here.
Yeah.
But I just want to know what you're thinking about, whether Denver's in your future, whether you're going to stay there, whether you're going to come back home to the East Coast.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you don't know, I grew up in Amherst, Massachusetts. I attended Deerfield Academy. That's where we met and spent time. But recently moved out to Denver, Colorado, and I'm playing for the Denver Outlaws, and I absolutely love Denver. I mentioned with Ryan Danny in the interview before, like, you got to use a water bottle and have a water bottle everywhere here. It's the first time I've always carried a water bottle. Everyone's just so fit and active in Denver, and I love that. And I kind of needed that and needed to move out of Boston and you kind of escape to a place where I can be active and really explore and be in that space. So I absolutely love it. And I actually just jumped out of a plane too, so I'm still riding
a Colorado?
Buzz. No, an hour north.
Oh, here?
An hour north in Israel. Yeah, I just got here about an hour ago. So
How was the landing? Was the landing okay?
Very smooth.
Okay.
Very smooth. The guy that I went tandem with said that I was very relaxed and calm for a big guy.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
I made his job easy, I think.
Big guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say one advantage for an athlete like you to be able to jump out of a plane is living in Colorado. You're at elevation, right?
Right.
I mean, so it's training you when you're sleeping. It's training you when you're walking.
Absolutely.
Even Coors Field, the baseball flies a little farther, right? So
I'm playing a lot of golf right now. The golf balls flying a little further. So I can't complain about Denver. It's a beautiful place. Of course, the games were in Colorado in 14. You were a part of those.
Yeah. That was a great scene out there, and I would say it was sort of a celebration of the real arrival of lacrosse in the Midwest, in the West, I guess I would say.
Right.
I mean, Denver, University of Denver is getting DU out there for those that are from Colorado. The University of Denver, it had already started its ascension, right?
And then they won it in 15. So
right. But it was just an affirmation of the great lacrosse that's happening out there. It was a good site for it. That whole complex out there. You guys play at where the Broncos
Mile
play,
High,
but where the Rapids play is where they hosted the
Dick's
the
Sporting
World
Goods Park.
Championships. And it was great. And the one thing I would say that's different in Colorado than New England, since I've had a chance to put a foot in both those places, is the storms out east are like kind of fun to be in. The storms out west are a little deadly.
Yeah, you got to put your car under some cover. Like there'll be hail going through the windshield, or it'll come out of nowhere, and you'll just be trapped in a little monsoon. But
so you, as a youngster out there, you get training in tornado warnings. You know, you got to get under the desks. You pull down the shades, and you just get a little bit frightened right out there. So it's good for you.
I've heard the sirens before too, and I kind of started running. I'm going to admit, but we mentioned the time that you've spent around the World Games and the international games. How would you compare, Netanya? How would you compare 2018 to some of your past experiences?
So we don't get the accommodations that the U.S. team does, but we've been very well taken care of.
Yeah.
And I would say to have them try to put it together in just over a year.
And
or
Scott
so.
Neese is walking behind the camera here. He's too shy. He won't get in front of the camera. But okay, he is getting it. He's been doing a great job, right?
Excellent. No, putting it together in that time frame is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because all these other programs, I mean, we've announced where it will be 4 years from now. So BC's like planning, right? Manchester was where the announcement was made for Denver. Denver was where the announcement was made for Manchester again. 3 years later, that changed, and so they cobbled it together. I'm sure they had to cancel some big, like ABBA concert or something like this from Netanya Stadium. So we're grateful to the.
We are. We're wearing these wristbands, and that's how we pay for everything around here and get food and drink and whatever. There's 26 different languages, so like. Currencies.
Okay.
So that's just a small example of things that you have to do to run an event like this to make everything run smoothly. So.
And you're reminding me also, and this is a shout out to the officials who come from lots of different countries as well. They're well versed in English, right? We're grateful to have one language. Israel is a place that speaks Hebrew, but I would say the language of lacrosse has been well spoken by the officials we've come together with. Like it's hard when your team is made up of people that speak 5 different languages, but I think that's been handled really well. And I see and know that it's a training ground on some of these other fields, not field 1, not in the stadium, but it's a training ground for budding officials.
Right.
And so what better way to do it than to learn the sport with guys like this? The Iroquois haven't been on field 1 the whole time. They've been down there where the lights are a little dim.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's been officials getting those games also. And these are the best passers and shooters in the game.
Oh.
So the whole thing's been set up really well. So,
Jan, I really appreciate the time. I mean, as you can tell, he's just a very calm, cool, collected teacher. You're just a teacher. Everywhere you go, you're just teaching everybody everything, and I really appreciate that. I'm going to get your analysis on this game real quick. A prediction here for this game. We got Puerto Rico and the Iroquois behind us. You've seen Puerto Rico and Iroquois both play?
We're close to the University of Albany, right? So we get a chance to watch some of these guys play their college ball near us where we are in Western Massachusetts.
A lot of Albany players here.
Right, that's the Iroquois team, right? So, and what I would say is they're great. And I would even say we all know the travel situation for them getting here. Mm-hmm. Some of the ways in which they face the world by design challenges them, right? So they're psyched to be here. And I would say privately, I'm always rooting for the Iroquois to take back their game with a championship, right? So that's what I wish.
Well said.
We do have one of our guys that was with us at Deerfield Academy who's on the Puerto Rico team. Yeah. And behind closed doors, I wonder if back when Puerto Rico submitted its roster, they should have already been elevated to full status. Because there's some really good lacrosse players out here. It's amazing. Absolutely. And so I think that for somebody that doesn't know the game that well, they'll say Iroquois versus Puerto Rico. Iroquois has always been like this tip-top team, really good, but the Puerto Rico team is very good, and they're playing together really for the first time. So the credit I would give is where Iroquois have been playing together for some time, right? Box and all this. Puerto Rico came together before the trip. I think their first practice was in Netanya.
Wow.
So it's something special. Credit to the coaches, right? Credit to the leaders of that team that they've come together to play so well. And not every game's been easy. We saw some of the Japan game yesterday. They had the lead, but they had to manage it. They managed the clock, manage the ball. Kind of slow them down on defense because Japan can run. So both are deserving teams. Both teams deserve to be here.
Well, I'm excited to watch this game. I'll let you enjoy this game as well.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate the time, and I'll see you running around here.
Okay, so, Josh Hawkins. Love him. We all love him.
Really appreciate it, Jan. Thank you. That's going to do it here for Last Words at this hour. We'll be back here. Please enjoy the game behind us at Field 1. We have the national anthems of both nations, Puerto Rico and Iroquois, about to start. So I'm going to get off the air here. Really appreciate you guys listening and following along here with Lax All-Stars during the World Championship 2018 Lax coverage. Appreciate it.
Shalom from Israel.
Down. Set.